Welcome to Custom Home Builder Solutions, also known as CHS, a job costing, full accounting, and profit management software for the professional home builder. In this video, we are going to talk about how CHS gathers and shows you reports of revenues received for a job. And by revenues received, we just mean money that you received. It doesn't necessarily have to do with how much you end up recognizing as your sales price. This is actually reports of monies received based on amounts you've posted on the deposit window and taken to the bank. So it could be interim draws, it could be down payments, it could be change order payments, etc. And CHS produces quite a bit of lists of those and also uses the total of those in various reports that I'll be showing you here. The one thing I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to click this job revenues because that's how we can go to a place that just lists all the job revenues and gives you some good search features. I could just select one job here and open a quick one, but I'll end up selecting this to show you how you can search for various things. But notice here it says only records that have been posted on the deposit window and have been assigned deposit categories other than job cost credit deduction, sales tax, and accounts receivable will be included in the job revenues. And also, if you need to include a lot draw that was a zero cash amount, you need to see help about posting a zero deposit, which actually is on the deposit menu, and probably a little bit here. You can see receivables, deposits, posting deposits, posting a zero deposit is some help that you'll get right there. But in this case, and that's a way to get the revenues, in other words, the draw monies received that then turned around and were given right back out for buying the lot, and how to get those in your list of revenues again also. The reason CHS only pulls job revenues this way is because you might be posting your money received to all kinds of different GL numbers on your chart of accounts, and there's not really much way for CHS to know that. So the only way it can get a list of job revenues is to comb through your big accounting database and say, I want everything that has job code on it and was posted on the deposit window and given different deposit categories, etc., so I can produce good revenue reports. And also, if you open the window to post a journal entry, like maybe try to go post that lot draw as a journal entry, you'll see a note there that says you should really use the deposit window for anything that you want to show up on a job revenues report. And we do have tutorials about how to even post something on the deposit window that's not even about cash received and kind of use it like a journal entry. But let's go to open all job revenues with search features right here. Like I said, you could look for just one job real quickly the other way, but I wanted to show you this is all records that have been posted on the deposit window, etc. And a couple more that might show up are if you use paid voucher revenue, paid vouchers in payables. And if you watch the information about that, if you go here and you look at the help here, you'll see that job revenues, when you click on that, there's also some videos going on about paid vouchers, which is if some outside party pays for something and a job cost, and you're wanting to recognize both the job cost and the revenue so that it doesn't affect your cash account, but CHS will handle these so it posts it to both sides. So a paid voucher thing could show up on a list of revenues. Also, CHS knows to do that. And this video here is about posting some customer refund of job revenues and so in payables. And CHS also knows to pick that up on job revenues reports. So I closed that big database. Let's open it again. I need to put that little help button here also, so I don't have to close it. Or I could have just jumped tabs, I guess. Anyway, There's search features here. You could search for, just say I just want to see all things about down payments, the deposit category. If you watch videos about doing deposits, you're assigning deposit categories that job revenues will be grouped by. And you can see some entries here about the down payments. You can see where we actually closed this job, moved it out of our liability account, and called it down payment. So if we did just the group job, we'd see 0 because we actually moved it all the way over to sales and out of here, accounting wise. And that you'll see that in job closing type of videos. We can also see a down payment for this job and a down payment for that job. If I do the search and I clear the search and I just want to look for the demo job revenues that we've been looking for, this would be the same as over here on the menu selecting just that job to do a search and open it. But basically you can do various searches and then do a results report of the job revenues, and it'll be job revenues without sales tax because it knows those are going to come in and go right back out if you ever collected sales tax, say on change orders, etc. But you can see how this filter is for Vista View 3811. Now maybe I want to know something else, like I just, for some reason, the job revenues want to search for some amount like $25,000, I guess. And I've left that job selected. I could do a search and I find one line. But you can see if you look at the search, watch help about searching. You can select a cash count for just seeing the ones posted to a certain bank account that you have. You can search for entries and what GL numbers you posted them to, entries in a range of dates, and that kind of thing. So if I close this, and again, if I did a results report, I just have one entry now of that one result, and it'll show in the filter what I was searching for. So you get that idea about job revenues and where they come from. Now I'd like to show you how the total of job revenues shows up on in other places. So that's the big database just of things that are job revenues in case you're wanting to search them. For one thing, you can spread both your revenues and job costs by month and select which years you'd like to see those. Maybe we want to see 2013 to 2016. This demo builder doesn't have a ton of activity, so it's going to look kind of funny, but you'll get the idea. Notice that this has the year 2013, and for each of the 12 months, it's showing revenues posted during that time, and those are those revenues posted on the deposit window. It says that again here, and it's showing actual job costs posted. So it's basically just to kind of see how your cash was doing each month, and you can see how your cash was doing each month in the year 2016 so far. We haven't done much in May except demonstrate some deposits, I think, and we didn't do much in April, but in our demo job, we were doing some things in these months, and you can see that we overused for job costs over what we received for job revenues. In this case, in May so far, we received, and you can see the year-to-date total, we've received more than we've spent in job costs. We received more for job revenues than we spent. And you can see 12-month averages, which would only really make sense when you have all 12 months in, but you could look at previous years. This builder didn't even have any activity much. He was doing something in 2013 into 2014 there. But you can see that, but these numbers for job revenues are coming in from there. You can export all this to Excel and do whatever you like with that spread. It's just an interesting spread of your money. Another place I'd like to go is, let's just go to the draw request menu. And let's select our demo job that we've been showing so much. And I'll show you a draw request here in a minute that shows the revenues also. But there's some tools over here where you can look at the contract balance due that CHS is calculating that based on the type of job. This job is a cost plus markup. And you can see that it says that here. It's showing the current estimated cost at completion, adding our markup percent to it, coming up with that value, and saying this is the current revised price. And then it takes away the total of revenues received, and where it gets those and groups by deposit categories is by all monies you've received and posted on the deposit window for that job, and so it totals to 187,496.03. So you see the revenues show up there. You could get a simple report of those revenues received like we opened in the database if you wanted to here. Also, if you produce draw requests that include, let's look at this stored PDF. This one, the revenues won't be the same because this was a PDF that we actually did back in March, and we've posted some other deposits, but let's just look at that PDF of our draw request. This has to do with all the draw requests going on when we're producing a draw request, but at the end of it, we also are showing, less payments received, 115,000. Then we show them listed here by deposit category, and again, where it's getting those from is ones posted on the deposit window. So it's used there to do some calculations to show, just to do some backup of what the revenues are so far when you do draw requests. The other thing I'd like to show you is if you go home and let's just open the active jobs dashboard. And I'd like to show you there's a big button up here at the top for job summaries, cost averages, estimated profit. And one of those buttons is profit and cash status of open jobs. This is actually a very good report for builders and management. Let's export this to PDF real quick. They open, first of all, in what's called an HTML web view of the report, sort of a draft, because in the web view you can export that data to Excel. Once it gets to PDF, that would be a little bit harder. So we always open it first as the HTML. And then we can export to PDF to get it prettier when we want. Let's take a look at this report. We're not going to talk about it a lot. It's showing you your revised profit expected and how much over under from your original, but it shows job revenues received. And remember when we were doing the reports for this job, our demo job VistaView 3811, we saw that total. It shows remaining to receive based on D minus H, which is our revised price calculation for our cost plus job, which is always sort of a moving target. Less revenues received is the remaining to receive as far as revenues. It shows you how much actual costs have actually been paid. In other words, cash remaining to spend, costs remaining to pay, and the difference of some of these is the net cash due in and out by the end of the job. And this cash flow balance that it shows here, it has a little asterisk, and it tells you down here the cash flow balance may include accounting entries posted to job but not posted to job revenues or job costs. See job cash flow reports. But anyway, you can see how the total of revenues is showing up there on that particular very good report. And if you get curious about that cash flow, let's just run over there real quickly. Notice how this says financials, balance sheet, cash flow. And then the first bar at the top here says it has cash flow. And if I select our demo job that we've been doing, you can get a detail of what all the cash flow is and why that number is on that report. It can include things that may not have been actual checks written or actual deposits. It could actually, cash flow actually can include things you posted as a journal entry, etc. Or that you posted to the job and didn't use a cost code, so it wouldn't be part of job costs. Like in this case, ProBuild offers some discount deductions. We are not actually posting that as revenues. This is something that got posted in AP. It's some income for the job, so it is money that the job brought in. We don't have that show up on job cost reports, but as the manager of the company, It did get the job attached to it when we posted those. So that's increasing our cash flow a little bit, those discounts. And we also deducted some liability insurance from ABC Foundation that we also don't put over to job costs, but it is increasing our cash flow a little. If you just tried to do deposits minus, revenues received minus actual job costs posted and marked as job costs, it may not total to the same as this. That's why that says to look at your cash flow report. Anyway, that's how a little bit of that is showing up about your cash flow. I'd like to also show you, if you do percentage of completion accounting, and you can read about accounting methods, and if you're doing that, or if you're just interested in producing a kind of cool report, let's just do this for the year 2016. Let's go all the way to the end of May, even though I'm early in May right now. Let's just take a quick look at this percentage of completion report. Builder 20 clubs quite often use something like this, and it's showing what your estimated profit is, what your estimated cost at completion, prior period before that beginning date I used, actual job costs posted, current job costs, and actually which line is this second to last line is our demo job. And so it'll figure out percent complete, job cost to date incurred, divided by what our current estimated cost of completion does. Percent complete, it shows prior period before that date revenue earned, current period revenue earned, and job to date revenue earned, which actually would be this 52.33% times the current estimated price. And then it shows revenues received, and that's what I wanted to show you, is there's that number again coming in. So it shows revenues received over under what we've earned so far, and current period, during the period that we selected, gross profit was this much, and current period profit percent is 20%, which, since it's a cost plus markup, our profit percent usually generally stays the same wherever we see it. The dollar amount might be going up because we're getting the costs have increased, and so we get more money. We get 20% on every one of those costs. But you can see how CHS is capturing when it figures out what the current contract price is based on the contract type. And so this one is actually based on it being a cost plus markup. But you can see how the revenues received also showed up there. Hopefully this helps you understand how CHS is gathering and calculating what the totals revenues received on a job that's in progress are for those various places that job revenues show up in CHS. And thank you for watching.